So hello everyone. We're the MovieJar podcast. I'm Chris.
And I am talking to an empty room.
Yeah, I'm
We're not
alone.
real.
No one else
Not-
is here.
Chris, we're not real.
God, I
Recently some
would
people came to
love
my
to
door.
talk so much shit about Cameron right now in this
What the
empty room.
fuck?
Cameron,
That's not-
introduce yourself.
Hi. I'm Cameron, and I am a kindergarten teacher who studies film as well. What? Who the fuck just booed me?
Digital footprint. Higher. Introduce yourself.
I'm Kaya. I'm a film student.
That's good enough. Alex.
I'm on fucking set for weeks. I'm not happy. I hate being on set.
Alex.
Hi, my name's Alex, and I may or may not have Suction Cup Man in my upcoming student film.
Bro, that's so crazy. Anyway, we're watching Shaun of the Dead, the greatest film of all time. Anyone who says otherwise is definitely going to some form of execution camp.
Chris, I thought Conan the Barbarian was the greatest film of all time.
I haven't watched it yet.
You fucking... Oh my...
Chris's
We have a
determination
poser.
to watch
We have a
Conan
fucking poser.
isn't even.
What do you mean?
It's not even because he's
What
like
do you
watched it.
mean? I haven't watched it because it's not come up on the list, and it's a cult classic, and I want to watch it, but I can't watch it until it comes up on the goddamn wheel, which it hasn't, and it has not, and I've been blue-balled for the last fucking year and a bit. Okay?
It has been
It's not
over a year.
Actually, it has been a year, Cameron.
It's
It
been
has
over
been.
a year.
It
Cameron-
fucking what?
Cameron, the first episode we recorded in the first week of April last year.
Guys, didn't we just come out of the COVID lockdown though? Right?
Cameron,
Bro, one of my teachers got
Cameron.
COVID sent an email saying like, oh yeah, I have COVID, so I'm not coming in. Like the other day, and I'm like, COVID in 2025?
Oh,
Jesus, we've been doing this for over a year?
Yeah.
Well,
and we're only halfway.
Fucking hell.
Cameron,
So anyway, Shaun of the Dead is British comedy.
Peak British comedy.
Uh-huh.
Shaun of the Dead.
It's made by a guy called like Edgar Wright or something.
Chris, are
fucking
you
stuff it in your
eating?
mouth.
And like does these really good long shots where like they walk around and it's just really animated
Oh,
stuff. It's
Jesus
great.
Christ. Okay,
What's
You
wrong,
should-
shot?
Okay, so Shaun of the Dead is directed by Edgar Wright. He is known for he's this British guy. He's known for his fast-paced, very actiony editing, especially, and also like long shots at the same time.
Long lasting, we should specify. It's not like long from afar, it's like long
Do you reckon-
following
do
the
you reckon-
character.
Do you reckon Edgar Wright, like, had his wedding be one of like an Edgar Wright montage?
Nah, because like
How-
Edgar
okay,
Wright
hang on,
is
no,
my
elaborate
is-
on that. I need more of a vision here.
Like
Edgar
you
Wright
know-
going down the aisle with the groom, and it's like it's like the camera's over the shoulder, they're going down, and then suddenly zombies, and they pull out fucking like paintball guns and shoot the fuck out of the zombies.
Not at all what I was imagining. Brother, get out of the kitchen. No, like you know how
I
like
literally
Edgar
just ate
Wright.
a banana.
That you had a banana.
Yeah,
You had a banana in your mouth.
I ate
What?
a banana.
Chris, it's
Anyway.
8:30 p.m. Why are you eating a banana?
I wanted a snack, okay?
Hey,
A
I eat
banana is
bananas at the latest time.
non-restrictive. Okay, you know how bananas, you can just eat them whenever you want. Yeah, I did that. I have free will. Fuck you.
Anyway, like you know how when Shaun of the Dead is going to like get an ice cream, they do like that really fast montage, and like they did that a lot in Hot Fuzz as well. Yeah, that, but he like comes down the aisle, says the vows, but dun dun dun, and then he's back at home, back in the pub, ready for another beer with the boy.
The Winchester. Okay, so Edgar Wright is one of my favorite filmmakers. He's definitely my favorite in terms of editing. But he could never beat Robert Eggers, my goat. Ryan Coogler is also one of my favorite filmmakers now, but Sinners. But anyway, I think this is our first episode since Alex and I have seen Sinners.
No, last week.
Oh, was last time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um,
Oh yeah,
With
also
how much
audience.
glazing you did last time.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
need to
audience,
pull up
by the
my
way.
my assignment that I did on Robert Eggers that I literally wrote like a month ago. I have some
when the
information
Northman
for you
comes out.
guys.
When we get the Northman on the wheel.
Oh, I
Sure.
cannot wait.
Chris, what did you think of this film?
Oh, wait. Did I say Robert Eggers?
Yeah, you said Robert Eggers.
Oh, I meant
You said
Edgar Wright. Sorry, I meant Edgar Wright.
Oh, must not be your favorite director then.
Roll back, Nick Edgar.
Alex,
Dr. Nicholson.
I'm just gonna let you sit with that.
Thank you.
Please
Chris.
tell me I can
Yeah?
view this.
What did you think of this film?
Did I not call it the greatest film of all time?
Yeah, but explain why you think it's the greatest film of all time. Why
I watched this when I was 5. It gave me nightmares and I loved it.
Why did you watch this when you were 5?
Chris,
Hey,
the
I did
movies
that,
you watched as
actually.
a child are kind of concerning.
Dad and Mom were like, "Yeah, this is a fun movie. This is by Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright makes good movies," and we watched it, and it was great.
You watched a man get disemboweled at 5.
Yes.
Hey, he said it gave him
I-
nightmares.
I mean,
That was-
honestly. Okay, wait, no, Cameron. I know that you haven't played it. Cameron, have you played StarCraft, like the original?
Yes.
Good. You know the scene in which the Hydralisks are on the space station and like they come out of the dark, the green, the like yellow glowing eyes and the split jaws?
Yeah.
I had vivid waking nightmares of like seeing that like outside my door because I was so terrified of that. It was great. Childhood memories right there.
Oh my god.
I
need
was
to
so
go back and play
terrified. It was
StarCraft.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good
Adrenaline is
horror.
fucking amazing, dude.
That is good horror.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why I was mentioning that. I think it was just like on the horror side of things. But yeah, I watched this movie when I was 5, therefore I
Hey,
have
Chris.
bias. Screw you.
Chris, quickly list all the things that traumatized you when you were younger.
No.
Really?
Why not?
Shit.
I just don't feel like it.
Tell us your biggest weaknesses.
Oh, God, I'm a virgin.
What?
Well, we know
Oh.
that. That's pretty obvious. But yeah,
So is 50% of the people in here.
Thanks, Alex.
I wasn't going to out you. I was gonna let the audience guess.
hey, there's technically 5 people in this room.
Well, I mean, actually, in previous episodes, we've given context clues about our like relationship status multiple times.
I don't
This
know.
is-
The audience doesn't know. You think they pay attention to these episodes?
I'm
One
actually
of your
really
classmates
hoping
is
they
a
don't.
fan.
That's a good
Hi,
point, thank you.
Gilbert.
Yeah, we're calling you out.
Hang on, did Gilbert
Meet us
watch
on
the
the
previous
street,
episode?
bro.
I don't think so, no, because Gilbert
Okay.
does not message. We're just gonna keep messaging you, Gilbert, until you respond. How about we start it off with the other Brit in the room? Actually, no, we'll start off with Kaya. Kaya, what did you think of this film?
I thought it was great. I love it. I do still think I prefer Hot Fuzz. But yeah, Edgar Wright is brilliant. He's great. Actually, I don't know if I should talk about this now or later.
Is it a very niche topic that will start an argument, or is it part of the review?
It's not going to start an argument, but
Okay.
it will put me on a slight tangent.
Nope.
Put
Okay,
you on a
waiting for
watch
it later.
list.
Waiting for later. Waiting for later.
Your chuckle to my question makes me think that maybe we should address it now.
Wait, what did you say, Cameron?
Did it? Oh, okay.
I didn't hear. I didn't know what you said.
I asked if it was going to put you on a watch list.
No,
Oh, okay. Oh man, well that's not interesting.
bro. Anyway,
you good, Cameron?
is Oreo being naughty? God damn it,
All right, I guess we'll go to. Guess we'll go to.
Alex.
Guess we'll go to. Me? Okay, sick. I thought this movie was pretty good. I liked it a lot. I thought that a lot of the comedy stuck really well. I liked it a lot more than Hot Fuzz. I thought that fucking. I think that Simon Pegg is probably one of the greatest British actors of our time. I think that Nick Frost.
Is
I think Nick Frost
decidedly not.
only has a career. I think Nick Frost only has a career because he's friends with Simon Pegg. Uh, I quite liked the zombies. I liked the unique charm of this film. Yeah, there was a lot to like. I have a few notes, but overall, I think the movie was pretty good. Oh no, I said I have a few notes. Oh shit, I'm like killed.
Wait, so
Cameron?
you liked it more than?
Yeah, I liked it more than Hot Fuzz.
Okay.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, that I think that the film has a lot better structure than Hot Fuzz. I think that the emotional grounding was a bit better than Hot Fuzz. I think that Simon Pegg just acts better in this. Very gut wrenching for a character that I didn't really think of much first. And I liked a lot of the environmental jokes. Also, this film had Bill Nighy in it, and as someone who loves Saint Germain in Netflix's Castlevania, and also loved his character in Love Actually, and just loves Bill Nighy in general.
I forgot that
I think
he's in
he
Love
was very
Actually.
funny.
Have
He's one of the good stories within Love Actually.
I've
'cause it's-
actually never seen Love Actually in full. I've only seen parts of it whenever my
Oh.
parents watch it because it's always on at Christmas time.
Yeah, it's Love Actually.
Yeah, I know. My mum loves Love Actually.
I've worked on Love Actually before.
Oh, shut up.
Wait, real?
Yeah, hang on a
Yes.
minute. What do you mean?
When I was on work experience with Cutting Edge.
Cameron,
Love
you
Island.
realize, like, Love Actually is, like...
Oh no, not Love Actually, fucking Love Island. Jeez, oh my
Brother.
God, not that.
You actually suck, Cameron.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not working on a movie that existed before I was born.
You're the
I
one who...
misheard you.
Anyway, what did you think
Cameron,
of
what
the
did you
movie?
think of the film?
Free
Um,
will experience.
It,
I came with experience out of the womb.
you know,
Oh, God.
I,
That was
I had a-
vile, Chris. That was
I had a
vile.
copy of Premiere Pro sitting with me when I came out of my mother.
What
Tachyon sperm right there.
what employers expect. You need
Nowadays, yeah.
experience.
I was working on films before I was even conceived.
Still not enough
Which-
experience. Anyway,
Oh, God.
movie, what did you
What
think?
did I think of the film? I think this is probably Edgar Wright's best work. Maybe it's very, very, very close to Baby Driver. Very close. Those two I don't know, they're better than each other in different aspects, so I can't really I find it hard to compare the two.
Baby
but-
Driver isn't on the list, right?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Yeah.
However, once again, just like in Hot Fuzz, Edgar Wright nails the average day in the UK. Oh my God, the color grading and the backgrounds and everything like that, and where Simon Pegg lives it's all just so naturally British that I cannot emphasize how much that is just the UK
It's
experience.
so London core.
No, that's not London.
They literally say that they live in London.
That's not London.
They literally say that that's where they are.
Yes, I know, but that's not like inner city London.
I'm aware.
They're
They're in the suburbs of London, which is still, surprisingly, London.
eh.
It's like you say that like
If you tell
Cameron, if you like
Look, you
live in
wouldn't-
if you live in the Gap, like that's still Brisbane. If you live in like North Lakes, that's still Brisbane.
Oh yeah, that's not. If you tell a person in the UK, oh, do you live in London? They're not going to say yes, I live in London if they were to live where they are.
Well, what would they say then?
They
British?
live. They would say the county that they are in, which is not London.
That's
Or what
pretentious.
county are they in?
What? Okay, I'm sorry for telling you how the county system works.
How about you county up some dollars, mate?
I'm the one with a job here.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris and I
Um,
also both have jobs.
Yeah, well, I have suction cup man.
I mean, I've essentially been like cold laid off by my job because it's like,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah,
Damn.
they haven't responded to me in like weeks and weeks.
Well,
So,
look, Chris, I think it's time to put on the cat ears.
what are you alluding to?
Oh,
Anyway,
I don't. What are you
moving
talking about?
on. Man, I hate
Um,
it, bro. I hate that I have to babysit the one who does the babysitting.
it's not babysitting; it's called being a teacher.
Babysitting, teaching. What's the difference?
That's quite a big one. Anyways,
Oh well. So back to zombies.
yeah. This movie does feature one of my favorite comedians as well. Dylan Moran, who who is one of the best characters. Sorry, who is one of the main characters of a series called Black Books. And I have never met someone so Irish because Jesus Christ, he is just always drunk. Not anymore. He at the time that this movie was made, he was a severe alcoholic, still is to a degree. Um, but if you liked the character of I forget his name. What was his name?
Dave.
Was it Dave?
It's Dave.
The cunt with glasses.
David.
It's
Yes.
it's Dave.
David.
It's Dave and D, isn't it?
Yes, Dave and D. Yes,
Yeah.
if you like Dave, go watch Black Books because it is a very similar character, but just an alcoholic.
I feel like Dave got shit on a bit for being kind of. He was a
For
prick.
being
but he
a
was kinda
prick.
right.
He was right, but then he said shit like past the point of him being right and just being a cunt. It's
Like-
it's sort of like milking the moment in a sense.
I kind of feel like the story sort of bent over backwards to make him like one of the real unlikable characters, and to justify him getting eaten by a swarm of zombies.
Well, I mean, then the likable characters also got eaten, so you know.
I guess. I suppose it makes sense because it's like within like the tension of a zombie apocalypse that people bring out their true selves, but like I don't know. I kind of felt like him shooting Shaun was a bit of like a huh? Why would he do that? Or like him being really like unnecessarily kind of like twirl your mustache thing. I thought that was a bit like contrived. Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I thought D going out into the horde of zombies was actually like one of the only few bad writing, because I was like, why the fuck did she do that?
Yeah, D's just a bit.
Well, no, because
Stupid.
I liked Dee's character. She was fairly smart, and she understood a lot of the. She had like a fun, jovial nature to her. I thought, well, truth be told, I thought her and Shaun were gonna make it through to the end, and then they were gonna get together. But like, they seem to like each other more than Shaun and his girlfriend.
Mm.
But
Yeah, well, it was always that David was pining for Liz,
yeah,
so they did try and set it up in the opposite way, but obviously,
yeah.
bang bang.
I thought that Dee's death of just "I'm gonna get you, David." It's like, didn't you just break up with him and you saw him get ripped to shreds?
Yeah.
And then walking into the horde of zombies. Like, I could have gone with her being like frozen in shock and then being eaten. Like, I feel like that's terrifying enough. But her going, "I'm gonna get you, David," and then just walking into the zombies and none of the characters acknowledge it felt a bit like. I felt like that was a bit stupid, but hey. That was the only real, well, okay, besides the N word. That was the only like real bad writing choice I could see.
Yeah, still never understood why that was in there
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like,
to this day.
even though like I knew it was like gonna happen, it caught me so by surprise. Like,
Mhm.
like it's out of nowhere, for no reason. Like it makes no. I
Yeah,
think
I
Nick
feel
Frost
like
just wanted an excuse to say it.
yeah, to think that he's Hagrid now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie does have like a fair bit of like outdated jokes as well. There was some times when the characters would, because our two main characters are gamers, sometimes they'd say something and I'd wince a little bit. Like I don't think they said epic, but they said something vaguely along the lines of 2010's humor. They said a number of things vaguely on the lines of 2010's humor.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
this was 2004.
I does think. I do think it does very accurately hit a lot of the technological what's the word?
Tech bro.
No. Mm, the trends of the very early 2000s very well. Because I mean, to be fair, when the movie was made, it was modern day. Um, but it's definitely preserved. It's preserved a bit of a time capsule as to what the early 2000s were like technology wise after Y2K.
Yeah, you'd know since you worked on Love Actually.
Hmm?
You'd know since you worked on Love
Oh,
Actually.
shut up! I misheard you. A wanker.
Hey, there's the British
It's
man
the
I
British we
know.
know.
There's the British fuck I know.
Yes, this movie has made me connect with my ancestry a bit.
Mm,
Not in
must be
the
lovely seeing your people in the wild.
yeah,
Oh,
not
you're
in the
connecting. You're
the
connecting with your ancestry. Are you
yeah,
looking?
no, not
Yeah,
in the
Cameron,
colonization
that's a
side.
bit
Oh, yeah.
concerning.
Are you looking to reform, Cameron?
Hmm?
Are you looking to reform?
Yeah,
Nah, they're planning
let's
on getting
colonize.
worse.
Chris. It was a reference to the Reform Party in the UK. I'm calling Cameron a Nazi. Sorry, I mean a
Yes.
fascist.
No, I'm not a member of them. Um, British. No, I do not believe that colonization is the correct thing, nor do I think becoming a national socialist is. Um,
Where were we going with that?
oh, I don't know.
We're just saying shit at this point. Do
Kaya,
we even
Kaya.
review movies? I don't think so.
Yeah, we do.
We talk about them vaguely. Kaya, what was your point that would spark you on a tangent?
Okay, so basically, for an assessment we had to pick a producer and make a little PowerPoint about them, essentially. And Edgar Wright produces a lot of the stuff he makes, as well as directing, so I picked him. I was going to pick Robert Eggers, but he hadn't done enough content. It had to be like at least 10 years. But anyway, I just completely forgot what I was gonna say. So basically, his feature so he made like a fuck ton of short films, and and then he somehow ended up, he made his feature film, right? And it was called A Fistful of Fingers, and it was a western. Came out in 1995, and it did garbage. Um, Not surprising. And it, fun fact, it also only got released in the US in 2012. Anyway, and basically, he then went into the TV for 9 years. Um, and that's how he met Simon Pegg and pretty much all of the connections that he like had at the in the 2000s was because he got into this one specific show. Um, and then he made Shaun of the Dead, which he sort of considers. And this is I read an interview. Um, he considers it his like redo at a feature film debut. Because Fistful of Fingers didn't have like any of his like the things you associate with like his style now. Like it was very different to his style now. Um, so yeah, I just think it's interesting. I have a few other fun facts. My fun facts segment is being brought back. Um,
Oh, yay.
Yay! So I watched a YouTube video where he like goes through a bunch of his films and like tells you like random details and shit. And first of all, the reason why he gets a cornetto and the whole like cornetto trilogy starts is because that was Edgar Wright's hangover cure in university. Which
Of course.
valid. It was specifically the strawberry one. And also the one take shot that, oh my god, the one take, it's incredible. I like one takes, okay?
There's nothing wrong with that.
So it took them fucking forever to film, obviously. And a lot of people like were saying, "Oh, what if we like shorten it, take this out to, because it was taking so damn long to film." And he said no, because basically like there's all these little details in it that then establishes later on that something is wrong, because they're all like you have the guy who's cleaning the windshield of his car, and then the next time we see it, it's been smashed in, and like you have him giving the guy change, and then the second time he like tells him to fuck off and stuff like that. Like it's really interesting, and it's so fun to watch, and I just love the complete obliviousness that he has as he walks to the store, him slipping on the blood and stuff. I don't know.
Just the average, the initial, the first time you see him go through his day, that I cannot describe how realistic that is to an average morning.
Yeah, honestly.
For you? Average morning for you, or
Like back when I was living in the UK, you would see people get up, go to work, and going past every single little brick fence, and then the roads were always so tiny that you could only fit one car in the middle. So there'd always be that corner store which looks the exact same even today everywhere, where like I don't know, it's never changed. And there are parts of the UK which still look like that. Quite a lot of it actually still look exactly like that, because there's just no new buildings being made.
It's also like, so when I go to work, I usually, where like my store is right next to a servo, and I always go in before work and I buy a Monster. And like it's so part of like my routine when I get in that like I don't even think about it. It's just second nature. So like him being completely oblivious as he walks to the store just make it so realistic when you're going about your daily life. Like you don't pay attention to things because it's just so like regular.
Yeah, it's quite worrying at how close it is.
Damn, we're really
What are
not
you
a
giggling
talkative
about?
bunch tonight, are we?
Hey
Well, I
man,
mean, there's
I
so much
agree.
to talk about with this movie because it's what's already been said has been said, a million times before. So, like, people know that this is a good movie and it's one of Edgar Wright's best work. When you think Edgar Wright, you think Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and Baby Driver, right? Those
Chris,
three.
No, I think a
Yeah.
Chris,
Tintin that he produced.
You need to be put down.
why why do you like zombie movies, Chris?
They're fun, they're simple, and they give me violence.
Chris, do you think that your hungering for violence is indicative of like larger mental issues?
No.
What the fuck, Alex?
Fair enough.
Well, no, I
Fair
think that's a valid question. I'm getting a little bit worried, honestly.
Well, no, I'm not gonna call you out here, but like,
I feel
I don't
pretty
know.
cold out, buddy.
I'm kidding.
I feel
I know
pretty
you,
cold out in front of our millions of fans
yeah,
that
millions of fans.
exist and
Gilbert.
aren't
Especially,
Hi,
bought.
especially
Gilbert.
in front of Gilbert. Hi, Gilbert.
Fucking
Gilbert,
Gilbert, you know,
Gilbert,
our
Jaden, and
fans,
Kiki.
Gilbert, right there.
Gilbert, Jaden, and Kiki,
Hi,
and
Kiki.
The
Kira.
only
Kira.
real ones. The
Actually,
rest
maybe
are just
I think
bots.
I actually don't know if Malik listens to this as well.
I love how
Oh
we are
god.
just name dropping people.
Oh, maybe they watch
It's
this.
not like we're giving the social
Yeah.
security numbers out, okay?
I mean,
We don't
can't.
have
They don't have
social
them.
security numbers in Australia, Chris.
Yeah, but we have
Well, I wasn't gonna tell him that.
So my credit card number is no, but
Huh?
Here's my tax file number.
No.
Here's
no,
my
but
dick.
really, is there
Huh?
any deeper part of zombie movies that we think we connect to? Because I think that one thing that this movie does that is comparative to Night of the Living Dead is to bring back the core thing that made zombie movies. Because ultimately, like any great form of art, it's a critique on capitalism. Yet, I also think that perhaps zombie movies have been co opted by our inherent need to see gore and violence on screen to get some sort of catharsis out of ourselves. When the first zombie movie was made, Night of the Living Dead, it was said to be like a racial allegory because the main character was black, which was pretty much unheard of. And the second zombie movie, Dawn of the Dead, where they one of the first movies to ever take advantage of the shopping mall as it started to come into the American lifestyle. Um, that was said to be a commentary on capitalism and on the way that we had become mindless consumers in the face of a never-ending void that fills our life. And that is something that I think Shaun of the Dead really uh, comes into. The fact that during those opening shots and opening scenes, Shaun is practically already dead. He lives a life that is entirely a husk. He goes day to day in the same shambling routine. Everyone around him is in the same. And then when a virus comes through and everyone starts to become sick, no one notices, no one cares because simply I think deep down we would rather be dead than have to live the constant life we live every day. I think but I do think that the film excels in the fact that it doesn't rely on violence. I think that too many zombie movies appeal to some dark urge, some hidden part of whether it be the will of Satan or the will of some unfathomable god. I think there is some part of us which longs to be a violent hero cutting down others, at least to some of us, because we just feel empty. Maybe the human response to emptiness is to either respond with violence or despair. But I think Shaun of the Dead's pretty good.
I mean, I personally I like zombie stuff and just any sort of like doomsday scenario as a whole is because it gives you a real look into the human psyche without all the false like the fakeness, like the you know, like you go to the shops and you go to the cashier and they're like, "Oh, how was your day?" and you lie and you say, "Oh yeah, it was good." And like the how you say, like the plasticity of like random day-to-day interactions, the fakeness of it all. And I think like apocalypse scenarios lets you actually look into the real human psyche and the way we interact with each other. It's like a raw emotion instead of just like nothingness, you know?
I think it's interesting how this movie's ending was handled. That in the event of a zombie outbreak, that the military would immediately catch that shit.
And
Yeah,
then
because
the
it was
zombies would
probably
be put
caused
onto
by
TV
the military.
shows.
Most likely.
Military making a bioweapon. That's what Train to Busan. That's how Train to Busan was started. Which is,
We should watch
in my
Train to
opinion, the best zombie movie.
What do you think to the sequel?
Huh?
Yeah, there was a sequel. What did you
Yeah,
think of
I
it?
never watched the sequel because I was like, this is probably gonna be bad.
It was pretty good, so.
Okay.
Honestly, it's not very related to the first movie, but it's still pretty decent.
Okay. I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
You should. It's very good. Very good. Very good. Very good visual effects.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing with like Shaun of the Dead. Like I can forgive like look okay. The effects were great at times because it's a low budget horror film. Like, and I think it's so fitting to this style of like sort of like horror, but also like satire. Like I think I said this when we watched it. Like bad visual effects is fine if it fits the theme and style of the project.
You say low budget.
It was low budget, wasn't it?
£4 million.
That's pretty low
That's
budget.
pretty low budget, yeah.
2004.
Yeah, that's pretty low budget.
Still low budget. Man,
It's roughly a $10 million these days. isn't
Yeah,
it?
that
Yeah,
is
like, still low
incredible,
budget.
Cameron.
that's low budget.
That's incredibly low budget.
Man, some low budget, one of the lowest budget films that, managed to break even was $4 million. It takes a lot to make film. I've been doing a producing course, and it's like, yeah, if you're doing a low budget feature film, so like around $6 million, whew,
I still can't
Like-
believe how Pure Rage was made with like $10,000. Not even. But
like,
anyway,
you can make a film for less, but it requires a lot more time out of you, and
an
like,
ingenuity.
an ingenuity, yeah, and probably maybe a crime or two.
Oh, absolutely. That film was
Most
not
likely.
made legally, but anyway.
Yeah, safety operators go burr.
Hi Haruki, hi Finn, if you ever watch this.
Yeah, I thought the scene of Philip getting, not Philip, glasses, Harry Potter.
That
David.
David.
I thought David getting ripped apart was pretty gnarly, but
Pretty gnarly,
That's what this-
dude.
it was gnarly, but it was like, I'm starting to interrogate why exactly I like seeing things like that, because that was very also grotesque. Like, they ripped his organs out. That right there was young me and still current me's worst nightmare, to be pinned down in a crowd of people and watching as my organs are ripped out. Like,
I think it's interesting to see that.
yeah, but why?
Humans have always had a
The need for
fascination
information?
with the violent.
The need for information regarding the human body.
Humans have always had a curiosity to that which is dangerous. Why do people like horror films?
Yeah.
Like people
I mean-
like to be like have that feeling of like it's adrenaline.
Why do people want to go into gastroenterology? They have a fascination with it. Like, it's completely natural. Obviously, it's not natural to act on that in a practical standpoint. I'm not encouraging you to go out for you to go out and just kill someone and look at their insides. Be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But I do think that there is a innate desire to understand what's not there.
That's why
What
so
we can't
many
see.
like serial killers' crimes are so violent
Mm-hmm.
because they give in to that like urge, which like I mean like not urge, but like like the like a twisted version of like curiosity,
Yeah, most
like a very fucked up version, but
most cannibals are usually start off with only just a curious thought,
Hmm.
and then boom, you're eating someone.
I was about to say the exact. That was exact. I was about to say, boom, you're eating someone.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, actually, this kind of tastes good.
Aw.
All right, time to go kill someone else.
I suppose. I don't know. There's something inherently grotesque about zombies.
Hmm.
I guess because it's the living dead.
Yeah, that something is dead, but it's yet still moving. Why does that?
I will say, I did quite like the ending, but I also thought the ending was very rushed. Like the whole like zombies now are like a servant class in society.
I think it was
Um,
very funny. The like, oh, they're perfect for the service industry. It's like, yeah, I feel like a zombie working my customer service
Mm-hmm.
job.
Yep.
yeah, I
You
thought
work
that
if
was
you've worked customer service, you understand.
It's
I
so
think that was
fucking
funny.
accurate. Holy shit.
I think that was funny, but it's also like I kind of wish they delved a little bit deeper into that, or, and I hate saying this word, or if we got a sequel, because like,
No.
well, no, because I think that's an inherently interesting world. Like I wrote in my letterbox review, which I'm surprised you haven't mentioned yet, Cameron.
Oh, I haven't checked it lately. I need to.
I
think
haven't
I
Thanks for
checked
reminding
Alex's
me.
letterbox lately.
Yeah, I didn't read your letterbox on this movie.
you'll like my review for the Crudes.
You
Um,
watched the cruise?
Oh, let me get this
Okay,
up.
no,
Hold
no,
on.
no. The cruise is actually kind of goated.
it is a good film. Um, I don't know. I think that I said that uh I think that the idea of exploring a world that is not post-apocalypse but is after the apocalypse, a world that is kind of fully recovered after the apocalypse and is now making use of what the apocalypse had brought them in a new way, is kind of interesting. And I think the moral implications of using the living dead in such a way as essentially slaves is a unique moral question to ask, particularly when they will eat you.
And also
Um,
the game show.
yeah, I thought that was funny. I would kind of just eat up a movie, which is almost like a still life, just living in this world of zombies that um, are part of society. Like, I don't know. That's a very niche genre that very
Have you
interests me.
seen the Disney movie Zombies?
No.
He crimes with
It's
Glorug.
not gonna give you like the philosophy, but it does have zombies integrated into society.
Right.
They go to a high
Peak.
school.
Peak rhymes with grug.
What? It was the best review I could think of.
You gave the Croods 4
The
stars?
Croods
I
is
liked it.
great, Cameron. Fuck off.
Wait, are you annoyed that I gave it too few stars or too many?
I actually can't give you an answer to that. I don't. I'm very conflicted.
I mean, I probably could give it 4 stars. As I think about Shaun of the Dead, like, I think Simon Pegg is quite amazing, but I actually don't know if I'd call it 5 stars.
Hmm.
Oh no, I'm gonna get killed by Chris, aren't I?
I'm sorry.
Well, hold
what
on,
did
hold
you
on.
say?
I think we need
Chris
to
wasn't
answer.
listening.
I think
Yeah,
we
I
need
didn't
to
really-
we need
What?
to provide an answer to the groovy question.
Okay, I
It
just-
goes in groovy.
We're not at the tier list yet.
Well,
We need to have some sort of order here. We can't talk about the
When
tier list until we have Karina in the call.
As the auditor.
We need the
shepherd.
auditor.
I think it'd be good to gauge it beforehand. We
No.
are coming up on it.
Chris, what would you rate this movie out of 5 stars?
Fucking 4.9.
Why 4.9?
Because it's not quite the perfect movie.
What do you think
makes it
is the
not
perfect movie?
That would be functionally almost impossible.
No, but what exactly makes this not the perfect movie? I'm incredibly intrigued right now.
It's a margin of error.
Okay, what's the margin of error?
Not being the perfect movie?
Jesus
you have
Christ.
to tell me. You have to tell me what about this film prevents you from making it a 5-star. What is an aspect of this film you disliked, Chris?
Nick
You were
Frost saying the N-word?
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Is there anything else besides Nick Frost saying the N-word?
Pretty much no.
No, that's a fair.
You know
that
what?
is a fair reason.
That's a fair reason. It's a fair reason.
It is a
Like,
questionable
what do
thing
we
that
think-
happened in the movie.
What do we think of Ed in this film? I thought Ed was pretty shit.
Oh my god, That's my
Honestly,
opinion of it.
I kinda like.
I don't think you're supposed to like it.
I kinda did.
Oh, okay. You know what? I actually have a big fucking stickler for this. I get the whole point of it, alright? As someone who thinks all day and calls myself a writer, I
A
get the whole point
writer.
of having a writer. I get the whole point of characters you're not meant to like, right? I get whole points of characters that like you're meant to dislike, you're meant to think are bad. But like Ed doesn't suffer any consequences in the story besides getting yelled at, and I know that usually that would be like a big stake. However, fucking David David has the rational thought of we have to, put a bullet in Shaun's mum's head before she becomes a zombie, in order to prevent her from coming back, and he gets, ripped to shreds by zombies. Philip is just a bad stepdad, and he dies bleeding out in a car and becomes a zombie. D just dies, like, but for some reason he gets like this big heroic end, and then at the end he comes back as like this zombie that they keep in the fucking shed to play video games with.
I mean, he is the
Okay,
protagonist.
question about that. Do you think that him being in the shed is a secret, or do you think that Liz knows? Because the first time I watched it, I thought that she knew, but the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't know if is this something that she's aware of or not.
I reckon it's something she's aware of.
Like the
I
way
hope,
that
otherwise-
because if she knew, like he would say like, oh, I'm going to see Ed, not, oh, I'm going to just go to the shed real quick or whatever. Like I'm just gonna pop into the shed, because also it's established earlier in the movie that like the shed is locked. We don't know what, like, they didn't know what was in it because they always kept it locked. So like, one could argue that he's keeping this a secret.
If that's the case, then I think that undoes a lot of Shaun's character development.
Exactly.
We're going to hope.
I'm not
that she
saying it's a
knows.
good thing, but like,
We're going to hope that she knows.
I'm saying it's interesting to question whether he's actually like improved as a person and like as a partner, or if he is like still like being kind of a knobhead.
No, I do think that it's being kept as a secret, but
Well,
like you did bring up a good point.
But
It's
hey,
not gonna
that's
go
just
see
a
Ed.
theory, a film theory.
Shut up.
what do you think, Chris?
About what?
About him keeping Ed in the shed. Do you think Liz knows?
Yeah, probably. I mean, actually, I think they have like a little moment where it's like, oh, go have fun or something like that at the end. I can't quite remember though. So it's like, I think she does know.
I mean, I hope she knows, because again, I feel like the whole point of the film was to make
Shaun.
Shaun a better man. But like
Mm.
I don't know.
I
I
thought it
think
was
she
just a
knows.
zombie film.
Nothing is
Yeah.
ever just a film, Chris. Even when you make art which you think is intentionally stupid, you're inherently making a point. The arcs of which the characters go on, or if they go on arcs at all, are indicative of a wider point or a wider theme. If you don't have a theme, then you're still trying to make a point but failing at it. Like, there's no such thing as just a zombie film. There's no such thing as just a film. Every story has meaning, otherwise it wouldn't be a story.
Uh,
Contrarian time. Let's go. All right, Chris, what's your argument?
I don't know. What's the meaning of the Evil Dead?
Uh, fucking woods are so
Groovy.
spooky. The Evil Dead is an inherently absurdist, sort of pulp horror film that tries to shun popular tropes by instead making it more of like a comedy. Ash Williams, the literally blue collar man, has to go against all these weird and wacky um, things that an intellectual scientist brings up without understanding the real consequences of it, and it's through his raw kick assedness that he ends up pulling through at the end. It's essentially playing on the sword and sorcery tropes of the strong man and the damsel in distress
Which were
to
very
create.
prevalent in the 80s.
Yeah, you're right. And Sam Raimi uses to play on it and also plays on its own absurdity. It's a very self aware film. Sam Raimi glorifies it, but also at the same time plays it a little bit tongue in cheek, which makes the movie a lot more palatable.
He's glorifying it as
That's
a
a
way to make fun of
description.
it.
That's a description, not a meaning.
Yeah, but the meaning of it is that the blue collar man manages to beat back the forces of evil at a cost. The meaning is to always be wary of spooky books. Sometimes the meaning.
The meaning doesn't
You cannot.
okay. The meaning doesn't have to
Oh,
be a deep interpersonal like meaning, Chris. It just can be like don't fuck around in the woods. Like
okay,
children's
cool,
media
but that's
like especially is made to like, teach children a lesson. Some lessons are just like be kind to others, whereas some lessons are like lessons about how to accept like death and stuff. Like
okay. I know that, but like that's not that's not an answer to
No,
like the
but it.
Evil
No,
Dead.
but no, but it is the Evil Dead's. The meanings behind the Evil Dead are layered. Sometimes a movie has multiple meanings.
it's like an
Sometimes a story
onion.
has multiple ways. What do you think the Evil Dead is about, Chris?
I think the Evil Dead is a stupid fucking film that is enjoyable as shit because it's a guy that's a blue like collar worker thrown into like really crazy circumstances with really good models and humor. That's not a
Okay.
meaning, that's a description.
No, but where do you think the humor comes from? Like, what
From
appeal? What
from
appeals to the?
stupid screaming animatronic monsters and shit and
But you
slapstick.
don't you think that like to some people the inherent darkness of the woods would be something that's more terrifying, where Sam Raimi instead categorizes the weight of human fear personified into a screaming zombie body as something that's kind of to laugh at,
And a funny
something that is
hand.
comical yet also terrifying. Like, Chris, why do you want your art to be meaningless? That's my
Why
question
do
to
you
you.
want this to have a meaning?
Well, because it does. I don't want it to have meaning. It
Okay,
simply
but you
does.
still haven't answered. What is the meaning?
The meaning,
One.
Can I
You've
interject
given
here?
me description after description, not meaning.
Chris, do you know what
Can
meaning
I?
is?
A moral of the story.
Meaning
Don't fuck
doesn't
around in
just
the
mean a
woods.
moral of the story, Chris.
Yeah, it doesn't just mean a moral of the story. Cool, but it's like something you can point at and say, "Oh yeah, this is what its like purpose is. This is what it's trying to say."
But it's not that black and white. It's not always obvious.
Okay, cool, but the definition of what you've been telling me so far have been descriptions, not
Yeah, but
meaning.
like, what do you? Okay, if I look up a word right now and there is a description for what the word means, does that
That's a
mean I don't know what the word?
definition.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah,
all right.
but
Hang
if
on. I'm
if
interjecting here. Shut up. Right. No. Media does not inherently have meaning. Meaning is derived from what the reader slash viewer slash audience derives from it. It's called the death of the author. Your intention as the creator of a media can be completely disregarded the moment that a reader discovers a different one.
Cool.
So
So what's the meaning of the
sometimes
Evil
media,
Dead?
maybe it
Jesus
doesn't have
fucking
one.
Christ.
It's up to you. What's the meaning of it, Chris?
I
yeah,
don't
what's the
think
meaning
it
to you?
does
What do
have
you
a
get?
meaning.
Well, then
No,
it
but
doesn't have one.
Chris,
Do
why are
you?
you
It
so
doesn't
hell
have
bent?
one.
Chris, why are you so hell bent on media meaning nothing?
I am not. I'm not.
It sounds
What
like
are you
you're
fucking
getting real.
talking about?
Well, no.
We started talking about the meaning of Shaun of the Dead and the meaning of certain things. You seem to be getting really worked up.
You're
You're
just
now
like,
Because
oh
I,
yeah,
defending us.
name a
I'm
source.
not getting worked up. Okay, listen, I just don't think the Shaun of the Dead has a meaning, and I don't think Evil Dead has a meaning.
The film where it says that zombies are equivalent to retail workers and positions the average life of someone who has to work in retail and someone who has to work in the average service sector as
Sure, you
to
can take that
being
away. I don't think that's a meaning.
no, but it is
Actually,
a meaning. It is the meaning of it. It's the meaning of it that like the meaning of Shaun of the Dead is that we have been deprived of the ability to live within ourselves. Shaun has not been living. Liz literally in the first act says that if she doesn't leave Shaun, she won't be able to live, and then they have to fight the living dead who have been living just like the way they have. They have to fight all the same people they've been fighting at the bar who have been drinking their lives
Also,
away,
the fact
and
that the
then
first zombie that they discover is a retail worker who we see at the beginning of the film who looks like she's going to die any second.
fair
yeah,
enough. I
like
will capitulate on that, I guess.
they also liken zombies to junkies and to other people who have been disenfranchised through life. And then the end of the movie says that if there was a zombie apocalypse, we'd somehow turn it into TV.
Which we would.
Hell, the characters themselves, though they seem to escape their lives, then return to being to zombies afterwards. A zombie apocalypse happens, we get over it, and we go back to our lives. That's indicative of modern day capitalism, if anything. And as for the meaning of The Evil Dead, I mean, frankly, it's an absurdist film. The fact that it attempts to be comedic and it attempts to abscond the usual, like, genre tropes it has is inherently meaningful. The whole point of absurd and wacky art is to abscond from the traditional ideas of meaning by giving meaning to nothingness. You are right in the sense that Evil Dead is a hard movie to give like a definitive answer for the theme, besides don't fuck around with wacky books. But for the most part, it's that if I had to give a meaning, it's that the simple blue collar answer to most things, which Ash Williams represents, is the answer to most things. A lot of the characters in the film try to intellectualize evil, they try to understand it, and by proxy, they end up giving evil more power. Ash Williams goes to hit it with a fucking chainsaw, and that's the best thing that works. The film is
Sometimes logic
inherently
is the answer.
sometimes well actually no, the film absconds logic. It simply says might is right, and if you think you can hit it with a hammer, do it.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, I mean common sense.
If it
Yeah,
isn't
like
Hit that
stupid,
bitch with the hammer.
sorry. If it's
Okay,
stupid but it
so
works,
you've
it's not
defined
stupid.
it as an absurdist film, and you've said Ash Williams hits things very hard, and it works.
no, okay, you literally didn't listen to half of what I said if that's what you're saying. I'm saying that it's both a absurdist film and also an indictment that common sense usually will always seem to uh, achieve a better answer than rampant intellectualism. Those two things happen in the same movie. It is an absurdist film when it comes to the sword and sorcery genre tropes, because a lot of sword and sorcery stuff took itself very seriously at the time because it was attempting to be Lord of the Rings. But also it was attempting Lord of the Rings, but a little bit wackier. Throw things at the wall, right? Dungeon crawling, whatever. That's what I would categorize Evil Dead as. It is a sword and sorcery thing. Now, inherently, by being a sword and sorcery thing, it also leans itself into the ideas of strong masculinity. A lot of sword and sorcery stuff had babes who had clothes that would blow off in the wind, and men with abs so glistened you'd think they were slime. You know, like, like the fact that Ash Williams wears a shirt in the film intentionally is trying to point out, through the absurdist part, is trying to point out how a lot of like sword and sorcery tropes are inherently wacky, and and how if you tried to apply this level of seriousness to the real world, it would be inherently wacky. But it also applies in its other themes it has, because some things can have multiple themes and multiple meanings. It also applies that the common sense solution is usually the best one. It's Occam's razor, the movie. Like,
I love how this has turned into
like
an Evil Dead rant.
everyone who attempts to understand the evil book ends up dying a horrible death or cursing everyone else. Like, again, the entire crux of the movie starts because Ash Williams, our blue collar man, wants to get some poon. And then he finds out that a scientist, in his quest to do good, in his quest to understand, forgot to do good, and then read the evil text because he was trying to understand it even further. And through that scientific endeavor, through the abandonment of morals, he doomed the world. Like, there's meaning in that.
I don't get it.
Oh my fucking god, okay. What don't you get? Chris, if something is a stupid, wacky movie, why is that better?
It's just nice.
Why? Explain to me why.
It's just nice.
Okay, and you think Shaun of the Dead is a wacky film like Evil Dead?
It's less wacky, but it's still wacky.
Okay, it's wacky, but do you think wackiness deprives a film of meaning?
No.
Okay. Would you agree that Shaun of the Dead has meaning?
Yeah.
Are you just saying no and yes, so I will stop talking?
No.
Good. Did you say no to be a contrarian?
Wait, okay. Did I say no to be a
Did you say no just to annoy Alex?
No.
Are you lying to me, Chris?
No. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I am. Screw
Chris-
you, Kaya.
Chris, yes or no?
Bro is like having a crash out in the corner.
We've been recording for too long this episode. We've hit this
This
point.
episode is over an
No,
hour
it's-
somehow. It does not feel like it.
This is a yes or no question. Chris, yes or no?
I'm in between right now.
No,
not an answer.
Oh my god.
Jesus. Oh god. But no,
You
I
fucking
just
centrist.
Hold on, no, Chris is saying something. Let me finish.
jeez. All right, listen. There's just some films where it's like, okay, you could make a meaning out of it, but it would take a lot of effort, and you'd need to say a lot of stuff in order to make the line of logic work. Some things don't need that. Some things stand alone, and that's fine. If you need a meaning, go for it, but in some films, I feel as though that detracts from what is on screen in the moment. For Evil Dead, I think that's apt.
You think that the meaning detracts from what's on screen?
No, I think that thinking about making a line of logic towards the meaning of a film detracts from what you're seeing in that moment because it
Like the
distracts you.
enjoyment.
Well, in the immediacy, you can think about it afterwards, but if you're trying to make a line of logic for the meaning of a film in its immediacy, it can detract from it because like you have to make a large line of logic, which can take a while.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but at the same time, most of the time when I think about the meaning of a film, it's when I'm pondering it afterwards. Because you can't say the meaning of a film if you're halfway through watching this, because the film hasn't ended yet.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, I get your point there that you shouldn't jump to conclusions the meaning of the film. I mean, I did that with Sinners, I'm not gonna lie. Daily Sinners mention. Like, I'll be real, when I
Sinners,
first
my
went into that movie,
beloved.
I didn't see any of the trailers. I thought white people were going to be vampires. That was what I was expecting. I mean, white people were vampires, but it wasn't for the reason I expected, and that was nice. So, like, I'm glad I didn't assume the meaning of that film. But at the same time, like, when a film ends, and when you go to rewatch it, don't you want to be able to then notice some of the underlying things of meaning? Because some of the best films that
Not
I've watched,
usually.
really,
No.
why?
I can like a film without needing a meaning.
Huh.
I think it's just because, like, Alex, you like to ponder. You love pondering, and that's great for you, but, like, Chris doesn't like to ponder as much on a
I've
film.
never
Understood.
been so nicely called an idiot.
No,
No,
that's
I don't know
no,
if you're
no,
an
no. I'm
idiot.
not. I'm not calling you an idiot. I mean, like, it's just how you personally get enjoyment out of a film. It's like how Cameron gets a lot of enjoyment out of like the technical aspect of a film. It's like I get enjoyment out of like sort of bit of both, like story and technical. Like it's every person enjoys film differently to one another. It's just how us as people interpret things and how we find joy. Like, does Marie Kondo, does this spark joy?
Yeah.
For Alex,
I
sparking joy
suppose.
is analyzing a film and understanding it better, which is fine, but for Chris, it's different.
Huh, I
Damn.
guess.
I don't think you've nailed something harder on the head than that.
What the
So.
fuck?
Not gonna lie, you kind of nailed
No,
that.
no,
It's like,
I think you've really put the explained that the best you could,
It's
really.
the first time that I've had a proper, like, well thought out way of, like, or well explained way of talking. See what I mean? Jesus Christ, I can't speak.
oh, the source is left.
Fuck. Damn it.
It's over now.
Damn
People
it.
be having opinions, be
The
like,
paint fumes finally got to me, man. Holy shit! I've been
No.
painting. I was painting for hours today.
damn.
It's
I had to
finally
paint.
done.
I had to paint a set.
I
Anyway,
mean, I did like this film. My cookie goes to Shaun. Um, I'm gonna give him a jammy dodger.
what the fuck is
Overall, my
that?
thoughts on this film were that
You
never
whoa,
watched
hold
it.
on. Rewind.
I've offended Cameron.
No, 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 no. Hold on. Rewind that.
It's a British cookie which essentially has like, I got a picture of a jammy dodger for you. It's like a vanilla cookie with jam in between them. And it's got
Shortbread
this
usually.
shortbread with like two shortbread cookies stacked on top of each other with jam in between. Jammy dodger.
God damn it! Now
Okay.
I want one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
actually, I think the only times I've eaten those is when I was doing army cadets and out on camp. They were in our ration packs.
they're pretty
I
good.
genuinely.
I think that Shaun is just one of those people who would enjoy a jammy dodger. That's the first cookie that I thought when I looked at him. I was like, jammy dodger. Um, I don't know, I feel like he's just got a bunch of them. I think that sounds pretty good. I must admit, as I ponder on it, um, I suppose some of the weaker elements of the film come forth. I don't necessarily say if I could say it's 5 stars anymore, but it's close. And also because I watched The Croods the night after, and I found I actually enjoyed The Croods more. I don't know why.
What?
The Croods is Cameron. The Croods is actually really good. I like
Look,
it.
No, I don't care. I'm being contrarian on this point.
Grug plays Nicholas. No, not Grug plays Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage plays Grug.
Wait, that's Nicolas Cage?
Yeah,
That's
Grug
Nicolas Cage.
Oh my
That's
god.
That's Nicolas Cage. It's one of the best parts
What
of the
was
film.
that?
Shit, now I have to like this film. Damn it.
Wait, what was that beeping sound?
Look, I think that I didn't hear a beeping sound.
I think you might need to check your apartment for monoxide poisoning.
Am I being gaslit? What's going on?
No, I just,
No, genuinely, none of us heard that.
none of us heard. I'm not trying to gaslight you. I'm just telling you I didn't hear that voice.
Do you have a smoke alarm that needs changing the
No,
batteries
no, no,
on?
no. It was like something like through my computer.
Check your smoke alarms.
But it was a sound I've never heard my computer make before.
Was it like a...
No, it was like a da-dum, da-dum.
What the fuck?
Like through my computer.
Oh my god, Kai's gonna die.
Yeah, you're blowing up in 10 minutes.
Nah. If my house was gonna catch on fire, it was gonna be a day ago when I spent like 3 days fucking uploading stuff to Google Drive. And my hard drive was so warm. Oh my god. I had to pause overnight so like it could cool down. Holy shit! I was actually worried about my room catching on fire.
You should
Anyway.
just put it in a bucket in a bucket of water.
Anyway,
Cameron, what was your
my,
fucking cookie?
Hmm?
Sorry, wait. Alex didn't finish reviewing. Sorry.
Overall, I want to see Simon Pegg in more art house films where he can really flex those acting chops, and I think that he's a really great comedian, but he is also actually just a genuinely skilled actor. Like I was very moved when his mom died, and like the sheer range of emotion he's able to pull off in this film. It was, yeah.
I definitely think it's his best performance.
I also definitely think that Ed as a character did not get like all that was coming to him. I guess not every character needs to be punished in the story, but it did kind of suck that everyone else got a worse fate than him.
Bro, Cameron, you weren't there. I was having Discord problems. Like my computer, I had already watched it, but like my computer, like, I think it was actually my internet. Like I just kept disconnecting, and I rejoined, and I could hear everyone. I couldn't, like, the stream wouldn't load, and they couldn't hear me. But all I rejoined back to is Alex going, "Fuck you, Ed! Fuck you, you fucking idiot! Even Chris isn't that dumb."
No,
Oh, I
didn't say-
remember seeing your message about that.
Yeah.
I did not say even Chris is not that dumb. I said at least Chris would be useful in an apocalypse.
Oh,
because
okay, my bad.
Earlier in the movie, Chris and I saw like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost characters like being bros, and we were like us.
Well, no, that's exactly what I thought as well. Watching it, I'm like, this is like this is Chris and Alex.
We saw them being.
Oh my god,
fucking
it happened
idiots,
again.
and oh, you're gonna die. You're being hacked.
Yeah, that's it. It's over.
Yeah,
Okay, it's
speaking of
fine.
which-
The recording is fine. So, I think.
Kaya, what would you say? Kaya, what cookie would you give?
Come back to me.
Chris? Chris?
Was that the water tipping out of Chris's brain?
Chris? Chris?
Hmm? Yeah.
What, your cookie, who are you giving it to?
I'll give a Jaffa cake to the.
You
to the-
motherfucker.
the-
No,
the
you take that
zombie on the
back.
left. What's wrong with a Jaffa cake?
No, this is what Cameron was gonna pick.
Too fucking bad. I watched the Yogscast too.
I'm British!
Well,
Where,
I got
where?
there before you, bitch.
Cameron,
wrong.
it can still be a Jaffa, like.
I'm gonna
just
start connecting to my ancestry in a moment.
pick a different character or some shit.
Jaffa cake light. You get the
Literal.
shittier version.
No, I wanted to give a Jaffa cake to David because he's my favorite comedian.
Then give it to David.
Chris, I will remember this. You'll rue the day.
You can try and get back at me, but I'll be one step ahead.
It's also that the Jaffa cakes are also one of the best biscuits to have with Bailey's, which is alcoholic Irish cream.
Cameron, we are aware of what Bailey's is.
I love how you read that out like you're getting a paid advertisement like thing.
I'm not associated with Bailey's. I wish I was though.
Oh,
Bailey's.
man.
Hey Bailey's, sponsor us.
We're
I'd rather
acquainted.
not be sponsored
We'd
by.
like to.
Bailey's,
like to be
I really like you. Sponsor us, please.
I drink Bailey's every single day. I really like you guys. Come on, can you please sponsor me?
Jesus Christ.
Please?
My favorite place to drink Bailey's.
The
is
Bailey's
in
mug smells.
Anyway,
It has not been washed in years.
my cookie is actually going to Liz. I'm giving her just a simple shortbread cookie.
Oh.
I feel like she would like. She seems like the shortbread kind of gal.
Yeah.
Any other
I see
final
it.
notes?
Wheel time.
Oh yay! Yay! Gambling! Yippee! 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 Sorry, you said wheel and I get activated.
Bellatra moment. Cameron, pull up the wheel. Not Cameron, Alex. Fuck.
I get to do it today.
No.
Shut up.
No. Get the spray bottle out.
It's actually kind of funny how often I will get you two mixed up for no reason. My brain
Well, that's
just
racist.
does it. What do you mean?
Huh? I'm not gonna elaborate.
Yeah, your camera with every passing day. I think you voted for reform.
I can't vote.
Chris,
I'm no longer a UK citizen. I can't vote.
Chris, what is something that you would be neutral on the wheel landing on?
Oh, what
Oh,
don't
spicing
I
it up
hate
today,
out
I
of all
see.
of the things that you put on this list, you degenerate fucks?
Hell.
Daring today, I see.
I assume this is other than Conan the Barbarian,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I mean, unless of course you're impartial on getting that.
I have. I actually have several. Godzilla -1, The Northman, and The Isle of Dogs.
Interesting picks.
All good picks. Cameron? Yeah, I know you want Nigel Farage in the wheel, but he's not here.
Actually, The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, I kind of want. Oh wait, hang on. Are you?
Army of Darkness. I've got to mention Army of Darkness.
Do you want my my neutral opinion?
No.
Are we going full neutral today?
No.
Well, you can tell me what you want and what you don't want. I only asked Chris neutral because if I asked him what he wants, we all know the answer. And if I asked him what he don't want, it's probably Ocean's 8. So it was like, what are you neutral on?
Again, I'm wanting either Godzilla -1 or Blade 1.
Okay, what don't you want?
I don't think I'm up to explaining End of Evangelion this week. So
Not the right time.
it's just not the right time for Evangelion yet.
When is the right time for Evangelion?
Never.
Every time other than now.
What do you want? What don't you want?
I'd be down for some Blade.
Ooh, yeah.
What I don't want, I don't
wanna see
have time
vampires
to
suspended.
write my essay on Jennifer's body.
What?
I do not have time.
Same here, actually.
I don't want Watchmen.
No,
but I
Cameron,
want
you
The
can't.
Hobbit
You
essay.
can't write the essay. The essay for Jennifer's body is my thing.
No, but we can. I can write another one.
No, you can't. This is
Cameron can
my
be
essay time.
Cameron can be on the Ghostwriter team.
You had your
He's gonna
essay.
start sobbing.
Ladies, everyone can write an essay. It will make the episode longer and more marketable.
You will all get a
Yay!
Jaffa cake.
Chris, I'm gonna fucking murder you.
Don't want Watchmen. Even though I'm on a big Alan Moore phase right now, I don't want Watchmen only because I don't want to have to experience that. And it's like 3 hours, and I don't want to do that. I don't
Which
have
was
access.
3 hours
None
long.
of us have time to watch 3 hours. I'm putting it on 2 times speed. I don't fucking care.
The Hobbit Desolation of Smaug. I want that.
Oh, so you do want to hear Cameron's takes this time?
Yeah, no, I want to go into the ring today.
No, I'm not gonna even bother.
You and I
Can't
are
wait
gonna
to
have
shit
you and
on
I-
Cameron.
You and I. No. This will be all. This will be mano a mano. We're gonna go head to head. Because I've actually,
No,
I've
the
actually-
reason that I'm not gonna bother in this conversation is because my opinion is completely redundant to the actual movie.
Okay, can we?
no. It is. It is quite. It is. I will wring it out from you like blood from
Okay.
a stone if I must.
Spin that wheel.
Oh, hey, that's.
Move that bus.
Oh.
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Peak!
Alright.
We're watching
We're going-
peak cinema!
We're going to
nearly
New
got Watchmen.
Zealand.
We nearly.
No, we didn't. We almost got Army of Darkness. That's what we
Yeah.
almost got.
We
I
almost
heard
got
Chris's
peak!
mic peak. I heard Chris's mic peak.
Same.
The wheel has failed.
No, the wheel
I
is
must
the
not
wheel has
kill
done
it.
a great pick.
Oh my god, how many entries do we have
It's
left?
good,
A
not
lot.
good as Army of
Sorry.
Darkness.
23.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching this
What a
episode.
horrible thing to land between.
We really didn't review the movie that well, did we?
No, we did.
Thank you for watching, everyone. We will see you next time. I'm not going to say next week because you know us.
release
We
this when
upload
we want
very
to.
inconsistently. We will see
You know
you
what,
next
you-
time when we review What We Do in the Shadows.
You get the episode when we feel like it.
Woo! Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.